Yo, everybody. The last time I was talking to y'all, I was still in quarantine. But clearly now I'm not. As you can tell from the sound in here, it's home, right? I'm not in a room anymore. I'm not by myself talking to y'all like a madman. But I'm finally home. I live in there, so I'm glad to be here. Y'all can hear the birds outside. The sun is shining. It's a nice vibe. You might be wondering why I'm talking to you by myself again. And this is not a Family Reflections episode. I thought of starting this thing called, how about we call it Iyanola Vibez? If you think it should be Iyanola Vibe or Iyanola Vibes, let me know. But I think we'll call it Iyanola Vibes. Iyanola Vibes for now. But basically, it's just me, probably once a month. I think we'll do once a month, just cooling out and talking to you about things I want to talk about. Things that I might not mention on the Family Reflections episode, but we still want to talk about it. And yeah, every once in a while I might have somebody join me on this, It might not always just be me. But most of the time it probably will be. So if you don't like me, this might not be the place for you. But yeah, man, we'll call it Iyanola Vibes. And once a month I'll be cooling out with you, talking about life. And all the things and people in it, So yeah, looking forward to this talk. Yeah, I just came from the room there. I was about to use one of my father's rooms there to record this, but it was too hot, so I had to come outside, and I thought I'd record it here. It's a calmer vibe, there's breeze, birds outside. I really prefer this than being in the room, hot, sweating. You can still see I have my handkerchief because, I was boiling in there. But anyway, yeah, man. So one of the first things I want to talk about is how, as you get older, at least for me, and I think for most people, as you get older, you care a little less what people think about what you're doing. Now that does not mean that you get stupid and you start doing all this stupid stuff and you get ridiculous. But I think it's more of you grow into more of yourself, You grow into like a more authentic, more real version of yourself. You understand? And I find for me that's the case because honestly I feel even up to maybe 3 or 4 years ago, or even 2 years ago, I might have been a lot more hesitant to do something like this. Something where, I'm chilling with people that I might not necessarily know, or people might know my business, or people talking about me, or people saying, what I'm doing there, I'm feeling funny or something. But yeah, so I feel like I want to take the time to encourage somebody, some younger person. Like if you feel like you want to pursue something that other people might not fully understand, Man, you can come with me. I'll just edit the part out. Man, you can come. I'll just edit out. You pass it. So I was just saying, if you're a younger person and like right now you have ideas of things you want to try, you have different things that you want to work on, but you're not really sure, you're a little afraid, a little nervous before you pursue those things. In time you just might, in time you're probably going to grow into more of yourself and you might take the leap, in a little bit. You're probably just not ready just yet. You're not ready for that just yet, but the day might come where you will be ready. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So, yeah, most definitely. I am glad that I feel that I have grown into more of myself as time went on. You know what I mean? one thing I noticed. One thing I noticed after I got out of quarantine, started cooling out with my family, talking about different things, and seeing what I've been missing in St. Lucia. There's a lot of talent, not only in St. Lucia but in the Caribbean. There's a lot of Caribbean talent, and if Iyanola Pictures could find a way to bring a lot of these talented young people together, and even just showcase a lot of that talent, I think it would be a great thing. And honestly, maybe that is something we're going to work on. There's some young ladies, there's some young men I know that I really want to talk to, about maybe featuring some of their content on the Iyanola platform, or maybe working with them on some stuff, right? Yeah, man. I feel like that's something that could really go a long way, and yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. I definitely think I'm going to be working on that. I already spoke to my mom about it, spoke to the team about it, and that's something we'll be pursuing, man. It's very too often I think in Caribbean countries there's a lot of people that can do a lot of things, and they never get the chance, they never get a shot, because they feel like you can't go anywhere with that. You can't go anywhere with what you can do. You can't go anywhere with the skill that you have because of where you were born, right? Because of just being born in a place that Donald Trump has some fancy words for. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I think it's up to us as Caribbean people to change that, I feel it's up to us to show the next generation, show the younger people that it is possible to use your skills, use your natural talents to make a way for yourself and build a livelihood. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. That's something we'll be working on, for sure. There's something else I wanted to tell you all. Yeah, so if you have not seen our first comedy sketch, imagine today, we actually have another one dropping today. But me and my mom, we have a comedy sketch that we released a little while last week. I think it was last week Wednesday or something like that. The whole thing is basically how people react when you cough. Them days you gotta cough again, you gotta cough like you used to before. Like you can't cough again, man. Like if you're in a public place and you're surrounded by people and you have a cough, sometimes you have to be feeling yourself holding that, because if you cough, you must get somebody slipping you a little eye, Yeah, man. So my mom and myself, we did a little sketch, just talking a little bit about that, and it was funny. I had fun doing it. Yeah, for me, it's a lot of just being happy to get back into acting. I miss acting, From the time I was a young child, I've always had the privilege of acting in some capacity at some point, because before... Sorry folks, that was my mother again.
Nice.
Yeah? I'm editing it, yeah. I'm editing different parts out and stuff like that. So my mother just passed again checking you out, but the attire was different, so we can't leave that part in. So, but anyway, what was I saying? What was I telling you out there? It made me lose my train of thought, Hold on, let me see what I was telling you. Yeah, so if you haven't seen the comedy sketch, yeah, it was funny. I had a fun time doing it. Even editing it was fun too. So definitely check that out. The one we have dropping today is about your mask. The one we are dropping today is about your mask. Yo, you know how many times I leave this house already, heading somewhere, trying to, do something, and I forgot my mask. So today, the skit we dropped in today, I think a lot of y'all can relate to that one. Because, yo, it's so annoying. It's like normally for me, or for any man, right? Before you leave your house, you have to remember wallet, keys, phone. That's my trio that I always have to try to remember. Wallet, keys, phone. That's what I do in my head. But now, you have to say wallet, keys, phone, mask on top of that again. So, yeah, but the one that we dropped in today, I really enjoyed it. And we're going to keep dropping these comedy sketches for y'all. Because, life is too short, man, and every once in a while you have to laugh a little bit. I know some of y'all watching my hair. My luxurious locks. I haven't had a haircut in around a month now, and I find I still looking fresh with the nappy dreads. But I'm going to see if I can get my haircut this week. But that is not to say that I'll be getting rid of my mane, I'm going to keep the top, fade the sides, you already know, that is the vibe. So yeah, man. So if you're wondering about my hair going crazy, that is why. And let me tell you something. Another part of it is, I think there's some sort of difference when it comes culturally. There's some sort of cultural difference when it comes to American hairstyles, especially black men in America, and Caribbean hairstyles and Caribbean men. One notable example is when you have locks. So I was actually thinking of growing my locks before I moved down to Lucia. I was serious about it. I actually started. This was actually me starting, and then I just cut the sides. But when you have locks in St. Lucia, people just assume you're a Rasta man, And Rastafarianism is a whole religion. It's not a hairstyle, folks. So there's a song that says you don't have to be dread to be Rasta. So yeah, me having my locks would have probably made a lot of people think that I was a Rasta man, but I'm not. I'm still a Christian young guy, So that's a cultural difference, because in the States, if you have dreads, that's all it is. You just have dreads. It's just a hairstyle. But in the Caribbean, there's still a lot of different connotations to that. Yeah, man. And the other thing too is I find stateside, a lot of guys wear their hair a little bigger like this, the way I have it, much more than you see guys with haircuts in St. Lucia in the same vein, So it's a lot of these little cultural things that, even though I was born in St. Lucia, I grew up in St. Lucia, I now have to adjust to these different things, And it's okay. I don't have a problem adjusting. In fact, for me, it's kind of nostalgic too, because you see different things and you remember, like, oh yeah, man, I remember that. Let me tell you what it is. So I was on vacation, right? One Christmas. It was like a Christmas season. I went to see some of my family in California. And one of my cousins, because in the Caribbean, when you're making cereal, I don't know about y'all, but the people I know where I'm from, when you're making cereal, right, you normally have powdered milk. Yeah, so you have your powdered milk, and the powdered milk that stays good. Don't sleep on the powdered milk. You put some powdered milk on top of your cereal. Then you might add some sugar if you're on diabetes. I always used to add my sugar. So I would put a pile of milk on top of my cereal, and then I would put some sugar on top of that. And then you warm up some milk, alright? You warm up some milk, and you pour the milk on top of your cereal in your bowl. And that's your bowl of cereal. But in the USA and probably some other countries, that's not how you do it. So when I went to college, I was in the room with my roommate and stuff, and I was pouring my cereal, right? So I'm pouring my cereal, and then because I didn't have a stove or something in the room, I say, alright, let me warm my cereal, the water for the cereal in the microwave. Bro, my partners roast me, you know. Yo, my partners are roasting me there, you know, like, dude, you warm up your cereal, you warm up your milk, like you warm it up, what are you doing? You know? So the thing is, even though like I didn't really care about the jokes, I mean jokes is jokes, right? But I've realized that it is a lot more convenient. It's so much more convenient for you to just pour your regular cold milk from your bottle, liquid milk, onto your cereal and eat it like that. So for the last 11 plus years, that's what I used to be doing, you know. I used to just pour my cereal in the bowl and pour my liquid milk on top of that. And that was my cereal. To the point where going back, I didn't forget about me going to California. So going back to me going to California to spend time with family, I was pulling out with one of my cousins and I saw her pouring powdered milk on some cereal and putting hot water on top of that. And I had to stop and say, what? Huh? Why are you doing that? Mind you, that's something I was doing for my whole life, you know, before I moved. And I was watching my cousin like, why are you doing that? Like, to me, like, what kind of person does that? You know what I mean? Up to realizing, hold on, but that's what I used to do. So, yo, if you're watching this, let that be a lesson to you, right? A lot of times, we stop doing something and we start improving in a certain way in our lives. And then when we start improving in that way, then we even forget that we used to be the person doing the bad thing. And then now when we see a next person doing the same thing now, we want to chastise them and beat up on them. So folks, you know, let's just be a little less judgmental. All of it, everybody is on their journey, you know, and you know, just remember where you came from, especially when it comes to like stuff that you've improved and different things that you've improved with. So, you know, like if you used to steal and you catch somebody stealing, you know, I'm not saying to just let them steal or just let them get away with it, but you just be a little more lenient, let the person understand like, yo, yeah, that's something I used to be struggling with too, you know. So, yeah, I know what you're going through and you can improve just like me. I got better, so you can get better too. Check what I tell you? Yeah, man. So that's one thing. The next thing I want to talk about before this episode is done is the emotional issues of my dog. Alright? It's not really my dog, huh? It's my parents' dog. But it's adopted me, so I adopted it. Yeah, but so the dog's name is Riley. And Riley, I don't know what it is, but that dog just afraid of everything. Like, if you just raise your hand to your head, she running. If you move too quickly, if you raise your voice too loud, she running. She's just always afraid, and she's just always like on the edge, you know? So what my parents and my sister told me is that the dog came with another bunch of dogs. It's kind of like the runt of the litter. It came with a bunch of other dogs, and it was the dog that all the other dogs used to beat on. They used to eat its food. They used to treat it very badly. Yeah? And to this day, I think the dog still has emotional issues. Now, here's the funny thing. The funny thing is, whenever Riley sees somebody on the road and it stands up to guard the house, you would swear like it's a big bad wolf, you know. So you would swear like Riley is like a dog you can't mess with, you know. But in reality, when you get to know the dog, y'all see where I'm going? When you get to know the dog now, you realize that, you know, it's not the big bad wolf that it pretends to be. And again, y'all have to pay me for this knowledge I'm giving you all, you know. It turns out that the dog, and I just thought about this, I didn't even plan to give y'all any lesson. I was just going to tell y'all how retarded the dog was. And I don't think I'm supposed to say the word. But, there are some people that when you see them acting big and bad, you know, bad boy, those people are actually the most scarred, the most emotionally damaged, the most vulnerable, scared, you know, people. Now, that's not to say that there's not some bad boys. There's some bad boys in Lucia and the Caribbean, and I don't want to mess with them. You know, I try to stay in my lane, you know. But there are some people that are a lot of talk, buddy. Some people just, you know, they're trying to blow some hot air so that people don't threaten them, so that they're not put in danger and stuff like that, you know. And it's a sad thing, eh? You have to be secure in yourself, you know. You have to be secure in yourself. You have to, yeah, man. But anyway, that dog needs help, and my dog needs counseling. And that will be the title of this episode. My dog needs counseling, buddy. Because it's so annoying, man. The dog always scared. But it's a very loving dog too, and I'm not saying it's just a terrible dog. But yeah, you would swear if you saw, like if you came by my room there and you came by the gate, the dog would seem like a wolf. Badness. But in reality, that dog's scared of everything, boy. Yeah, man. But anyway, I wouldn't test it if I were you, know. Let me see, what else I have to tell you all about. Folks, I just want to take the opportunity, as always, to tell y'all, if you stop watching news and the American news cycle, stop doing that crap, okay? That don't make any sense. I hear it because, like, I know some very dear family members to my heart that that love watching the American news cycle and like CNN and all them things. Yo, that's not good for you. You know? Find another way to get your news. So for me, I use Google News, and that's not to say that Google is not biased, you know. They're real biased. Probably not in the direction you might think. But I use Google because you can see multiple different sources. So they'll give you a headline from Fox, they'll give you a headline from CNN, they'll give you another headline from Al Jazeera, BBC News, and all in these different places. So you can see how multiple different news agencies are talking about the same issue. And that way you can say for yourself, okay, who's really saying the right thing? Who is kind of biased? Who is not biased? You know what I mean? So yeah, most definitely use multiple news sources. Yeah, man. Because the thing is, in this day and age, everybody's trying to give you some sort of biased opinion. You know? Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about, and this is the last thing, this is the end of the episode. I'm not going to have these episodes much longer than 30 minutes, and some of them might never make it to 30 minutes because I might just run out of things to talk about. So, that might be a thing. But anyway, yo, let me tell you. Lucian's not wearing mask. Now, I say this, but I don't say it in like an accusing tone because at the same time that we're not wearing masks, we'd already have a lot of cases. So there might not really be an issue. For example, I was up north Saturday night. Saturday night I was all the way up north at a venue doing some work for another venture, not me. And while I was there, I realized like, yo, nobody in here have any mask on, but I know a good amount of people. Nobody had mask on. And the ironic thing is we were very close to the place I actually was quarantining for the 2 weeks. Like, when I say very close, I mean across the street. So, yeah, nobody had mask on. But at the same time, we don't really have any cases. We have, like, if I remember correctly, there was one case where this lady had, she was caught with COVID in quarantine, which I think is the best place you can get caught with COVID because you're in quarantine. But it makes me wonder about the people that she was exposed to while she was flying in, because what if she didn't have a mask on the entire time? You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. Hold on, I think a vehicle, I don't know if you can even hear the vehicle passing. Riley outside. Yo, y'all see what I was telling y'all? The way the dog watched me. The way the dog watched me there is like just so sad and afraid, just like it makes you feel bad for even saying anything. But anyway, folks, I won't keep you any longer. This has been the first, I guess it's the first episode, right? So the first episode of Iyanola Vibes. Iyanola Vibes. That's what it's gonna be. I feel that's the one y'all like, right? Iyanola Vibes. So thanks for joining me. I'll see you next month, right? And yeah, good times. So hope to see y'all again. I'm trying to think of, if you have not already, and especially if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. That's YouTube law. I have to say that, or else nobody will watch the video. So I have to say that. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Alright, bless. See y'all later.